What's up, guys? FREEDO here for Your Overwatch. Big news roundup today. A lot of dates announced. We're going to try to keep them all straight. The first one, a brand new Overwatch animated short, will premiere this Wednesday. And what's interesting is it comes out on August 22nd, but the reveal time is 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The PlayOverwatch Twitter says grab some popcorn, but I think you'll need a coffee as well. And of course, we know it's so early because, as we've previously announced, there's a big Overwatch fan event going on in South Korea, where Jeff Kaplan will be, and I assume a Diva cinematic will be revealed there. I'm almost positive that's what we're going to be getting. But also, of course, remember that this is during Gamescom week as well, which Blizzard also is at. And I'm even more excited about this now because since they've announced the cinematic at 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that means whatever they're doing at Gamescom many hours later is completely separate. The easy money says it's going to be a new map, perhaps a new mode. I personally, though, am waiting for new features. That's what I'm really excited for, and I hope they roll out something in the social features department. However, I did realize the other day that the official end date of summer, at least for the Western Hemisphere, isn't until September 22nd. So we're going off the Jeff Kaplan new social features by the end of summer. It could be next month. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Moving on, competitive play season 11 ends in 8 short days. They haven't officially announced the end date of this yet. And in-game, when it counts 8 days, I am fairly certain that's 8 full days, not including the day you're currently in. But of course, the season usually ends at midnight. So depending how you count it, it's going to be ending next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, depending how it falls. And we usually can expect the next competitive season to come up again in about 3 days or so, depending how long of a break they decide to put in. Next up, Overwatch is going to be having a free weekend, and more specifically, a extended weekend, starting this week Thursday and ending on Monday. The world could always use more heroes. Yeah, that one was too easy. Also coming up is the All-Star Weekend for the Overwatch League. The exhibition matches will be hosted on August 25th, featuring a handful of fun game modes, Lucio Ball Mystery Heroes, Widow 1v1, and the much anticipated Talent Showdown, which could be quite interesting. Keep in mind, Reinforce is a former pro player, and could be a pro player now if he wanted to be in the main tank position. So I think his team is going to routinely destroy the other team. I suppose it depends how hard they try. You think they're going to run goats? I think they're going to run goats. I think they're going to put 4 healers on Reinforce and tell them to W-mouse 1 until everything in front of him's dead. So I actually look forward to that match. I hope Reinforce goes easy on him. But then the very next day, starting at 11 a.m., which pits the highest rated Overwatch players against each other, fighting for the Atlantic and Pacific divisions. Should be a lot of fun. That's all of the announcements wrapped up. Now we have a few more news stories. First, it played in the middle of the night, of course, so you probably missed it. The South Korean group stage for the Overwatch World Cup has concluded. South Korea, as you might have expected, came far on top with an undefeated record and also only losing maps to Finland, who themselves, quite impressively, only lost 1 map beyond the 3 that they ended up losing to Korea. And the way this works, the top 2 teams from each group make it into the top 8, so South Korea and Finland progress forward. And perhaps, depending on how the brackets work, they may face each other yet again, which I think for competitive Overwatch fans is a matchup that a lot of us would like to see. That series went really close. If you haven't watched my video breaking down what I think was the best World Cup series ever, go watch it. Oh, it's just the group stage, and isn't it just the first weekend, FREEDO? We've been watching the World Cup for 2 years. Korea has never looked beatable until then, and that includes a tight series against USA. This Finland series blows that out of the water. I'm sorry, USA fans. A lot of times people say a game is like 1 team fight away from winning, but it was even closer than that. It was like 1 frag or 1 Lucio boop knocking Jonak's Transcendence into the well that would have saved the entire series for Finland. It was really close. It was absolutely crazy. But in any case, the final 3 group stages remain, and although we have a little bit of a break until we see the next group stage, the 3 that follow are in rather quick succession, with a little less than a week break in between each one. The next one upcoming will be played at the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles, starting at September 7th. Frontrunners for this group are Team USA and Team Canada, who both have a lot of Overwatch League pros on their roster. And of course, there's been some pretty epic smack talk coming that we've covered on this channel from players like Raucus and Sinatra, who are both very confident that they're going to beat Canada. And not just beat them badly. And as a fan of a lot of the players on both rosters, as well of the coach for Canada, Jane, and the coach for USA, Arrow, it's hard for me to pick sides, even as a USA native. Team USA has Muma and Space, and Team Canada has XQC and Note. And of course, all-star DPS on both sides, but my money is on the USA tank line to take control of things. After a lackluster playoffs in the Overwatch League, I think Space, especially, is going to really stand out in this server. And then, of course, after all of that concludes, we have BlizzCon coming up at the end of the year, November 2nd and 3rd, and that is where the playoffs will be held. There's been a bit of a skin controversy now that it seems that the Gridiron Heart Reinhardt skin seems to give a competitive advantage, namely because the sound cue for his ultimate now is a lot quieter and a lot less distinct, making it a lot harder to use sound cues in order to block it or get away from it. As you can hear, he kind of gives a grunt before he says touchdown, and even that isn't very clear. I don't think this is the hugest deal in the world, but I do think it is a bit of an advantage, and due to the quality of the audio sample being just a bit muddled in general, my vote would be Blizzard just revert this one to the normal voice line, especially when we get onto this second one, which I think is an even bigger travesty. D.Va in her new Wave Racer skin doesn't say surf this when she launches the mech. It's so obvious, Blizzard. How did you miss this one? I mean, it only makes sense. McCree says it's high tide when he does high noon, or high moon in his Halloween skin. The fans want surf this, and I don't think it's a competitive advantage, so definitely I hope they put that into the game before long. Last two stories now, we may be seeing Overwatch on the Nintendo Switch soon, because in an interview with GameSpot, as they were discussing Diablo 3, which is getting ported to the Nintendo Switch, they say anything is within the realm of possibility. Our team was given the task to work on this. If Team 4, who works on Overwatch, picks up that endeavor, that's on them. As of right now, Diablo is our only focus on Switch. When they asked if he thinks Overwatch could run on Switch, Stillwell said, yes, it is feasible. And as a proud Switch owner myself, I definitely want to see Overwatch coming to the Switch. I have played some other AAA games that have been severely downscaled in order to work on the Switch, and it's kind of a you get what you pay for kind of thing with it. The Switch does a lot of dynamic resolutions, so what happens is the textures go completely blurry at times in order to handle the processing power of it. And to be honest, even when I've played Overwatch on the PS4, it takes quite a bit to load things in. It's a little bit sluggish at start. Once you get in the game, it feels fine. And I think if Team 4 does go ahead and move Overwatch to Switch, it's going to look as if it was like on a mobile device or something. It's going to be quite blurry. I think the graphics quality is going to have to go quite a bit down. And sometimes with ports like this, even the map design has to change a little bit. Sort of depends how they're able to optimize everything. But the Switch needs more online games, and I could see Overwatch being a big hit with Nintendo fans. So I hope they do it. Last news story of the day, Overwatch-themed Lego sets were announced quite a while ago. However, a few clues found by the website Daily Star seems to piece together clues that we may see it as early as January 2019, with the main clue being that the Lego Overwatch website had a 2019 copyright on it, implying that they would utilize it and release that year. The site also says that there's rumors of an Overwatch TV show that could be coming to Netflix, which is yet another idea that I think would be quite money. I don't know if they would do it as a cartoon, kind of an anime style, like they've done with some of the new hero videos. I'm thinking especially the one for Doomfist was really cool. I could foresee something around the quality of either like the Pokemon TV series, or perhaps a bit of a young teen audience demographic, something like Avatar: The Last Airbender, that kind of thing. I feel somewhere in between there is where an Overwatch TV show would seem like in terms of feel and tone. Well, that's everything for today's news wrap-up video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave it a like. It really does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content, and if you haven't already, please subscribe because we upload each and every day, so you're going to want to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description is our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, and dank memes. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. See you guys next time.